Hello and welcome to this quick summary of the Refresh Daily Planner template within Notion. So the way this is set up is that when you come into a day, you can focus on doing, capturing, noticing, and building. And the main, philosophy behind this template is that doing, capturing, and noticing are all set up with these tables that filter out any items that have been added in on previous days. So you don't need to go and duplicate this template, go and update it and take out sections from yesterday, and it doesn't end up with this huge archive showing on this one page. But you can jump in and see the archive of everything that you've done, say over a month or over a year, by clicking on these links here to go to the actual databases behind the scenes. But this front screen is showing you just today. So that's why we're calling it the Daily Planner. So what you can add in, let's jump into doing. So doing, you can see this filter created is today. And we have appointments we've added in. We've got some tasks we've added in, and one task can be your top task. So the one thing that if you got through that task today, you'd feel like you'd made progress and it was a winning day. You've got that option as well. And the way that you would do it is you might add in all your appointments, add in all your tasks, and then you'd look for gaps between appointments and you'd move those tasks in between, so you can kind of time block your day and add those in. So that is doing. Then we have capturing. So this as well can have a filter where you're filtering it by the day. So you've got all the information in a database, but you're able to just capture it starting from fresh each day, but you can still search within Notion and find them anytime you want. So you can see here we've got 2 website links within the links section. We've got a quote section for any quotes from books that you're reading, social media, things that people have messaged you. They can all go into the quote section. And then we've got a section called Life Giving Words. So that's kind of training you to listen out for when people are encouraging you in the work that you do and who you are as a person, all those things. So if you add those into this section, each day this gets refreshed, but then there might be a day having a hard day and you want to just jump over into the capturing database and just filter by life-giving words, and you can read through all of those and just get that encouragement from having collected these in the past. So that can be things people say to you directly, things people say online. They can all go into that section as well. So that's where you're capturing those for inspiration, for reference. So inspiration quotes, reference links, and encouragement in life-giving words as well. So that's capturing section. Next, we have noticing, which is also training yourself. And you can see here from these are all the categories that you've got for adding into things within this section. So I'll run through them. We've got this felt like progress. So you might have one thing that you do in the day and you're like, it could be related to your top task up here, but it's where you're kind of reflecting and having a little bit of a journal. Say you started on a side project. This felt like progress, and write some notes in there about what that was like for you. You could have a section for things that you're grateful for. So you can add 1, you could add 5. You can kind of set a number that makes sense for you. And then we've got some notes that you can add in here as well. We've got things that didn't work in the day. So in this case, I've just put in slept in and some notes. Things that did work, and you can add multiple of these as well. It's going to be really useful for you down the track at the end of the month when you're reflecting back on your, say, month, and you look at all the things that didn't work and are you doing some patterns over and over again. You can look at the things that did work, and that could come and become a habit down here. You could also look at all the things you've been grateful for and what things felt like progress as well. So good for being able to reflect on those. So we've also got a section here for my energy today and my mood today. I could have made this more data-based and had kind of 0 to 10 every day. I'm sure most people's energy and mood fluctuates during the day, and I wasn't sure whether at the end of the month, if you rated yourself as an average of a 7, whether that actually does anything to kind of change what you're doing in your month. So I thought it'd be better to have that kind of qualitative, here's the way I describe my energy every day, here's the way I describe my mood every day. And looking back over a lot of those records for the month, you could kind of pick up some patterns a little better by having it in this kind of format. So that's the noticing section. The final one that doesn't get updated every day and get refreshed and kind of back to zero in a sense is the building section. So this is where you might want to build in habits. You might want to build friendships, and might want to build your professional network. So you can add these sections in, and then you can put down your progress. So it could be that you're just starting out with a habit, you're refining the habit. So maybe you've started doing something related to your health or something related to your work, and you might be in the refining stage of finding the best way of making that habit work. You could be growing it, and it could be something that's established and easier for you now. In a similar way, in terms of friendships, growing friendships and your professional network, same way, you can be growing those, you could be refining them, establishing those relationships over time. So this is something that's more like a bit of a monthly planner where you can kind of look at those things that you're growing, but they're not, I guess, in a sense, you're growing them daily and you could write notes on them, but they are more things that could take a month, take 2 months, take several months to do. So that's the building section as well. Jumping back up to the top, all of these, if I click on doing, have their own databases attached. So even though it gets refreshed off this front page, when you click into here, you can actually filter by different dates or different properties that you've got within this database. So you can do that. You can also search for items in there as well. So a good way of being able to kind of filter, look for patterns, by having this kind of like an archive of all the things that you've been doing, capturing, noticing, and building. So hope that gives you a quick overview and helps you understand how to use the template.